So you come in for an adjustment, you get the care, your nervous system balances out, maybe you feel a little bit better, maybe you feel a little bit more aware of what's going on in your body. And one of my astute clients asked me a couple weeks ago, Dr. Cam, how do I hold an adjustment? What can I do? Because I feel like, I feel great afterwards and I love coming in here, but then, in the next day or in the next 2 days, I feel that adjustment, leave. I feel like my body is going back out of whack again. Now, mind you, this is a client that has 2 kids now, a newborn and another baby toddler. So, of course, the level of stress that this person has in his life is going to be different than, I don't know, maybe somebody that's retired or somebody like myself that doesn't have kids yet. But really, it's not a conversation of how do we avoid stress, because life is going to have stress. We're going to have things that come up in our life. We're going to have to perhaps sit for extended periods of time. Perhaps we're going to have to hold a baby for extended periods of time. Perhaps we're going to have to go through these different emotional challenges or stressful challenges. Maybe we're going to have to exert a lot of mental activity for work or to fix some problem that we have. I had another client that was dealing with getting his insurance agency to reimburse him for something. That's a big mental stress, right? We have all of these stressors that are constantly trying to throw our nervous system out of balance. And it's funny, we just went to a seminar this weekend, and there was this chiropractor, Dr. Peter Kevorkian, who's been doing family practice, just like similar to how we do family practice for 40 plus years. And I said something about balance in the seminar, and he laughed at me. He goes, balance doesn't exist, right? It's about flexibility. And I think that is the answer when it comes to holding our adjustments. We have to be flexible. And the way in which we are flexible is by learning the key areas in our spine and in our nervous system that we tend to short circuit, we tend to subluxate, we tend to disconnect or disassociate from. So we're going to learn about these weak spots, these weak links in the chain, these areas that are prone to going into dis-ease, with the chiropractic care here, right? The areas that we focus on, maybe it's the upper thoracics, maybe it's through the collarbones in the chest, maybe it's in the low back, maybe the low back flares up when we're stressed out or having an emotional response to something, right? As we gain awareness of these problem areas, we can begin to facilitate some very simple things into our life that are going to help us be more flexible in that areas. So for instance, say you're a person that holds on to tension in between your shoulder blades. You'll probably hear me or have me go over with you this breathing exercise to breathe onto the front of the chest. Now, instead of waiting for that area to go out of balance, instead of waiting for that area to subluxate, we can begin to do that breathing proactively to open up through the chest, cool down the nervous system, and help make sure this upper thoracic area stays decompressed, right? What's another example? Well, if we're sitting for a long time, say we have to sit a lot for job, right? I'm getting some more architects in the office, and they're sitting a lot. How do we deal with that? How do we deal with that stress? Well, we can see about getting a standing desk. They have these really great little platforms. We have them in the office here if you ever want to look at them, where you can clip on the sides and raise them up. This platform will raise up so you can stand at your desk, and you can change that posture to elongate through the upper lumbar spine and that junction between the low back and the pelvis, right? And not only can we change our position, we can begin to start utilizing those deep core activation. So how I show you how to suck that belly button in towards the spine to activate the deep core musculature of transverse abdominis muscle. That's that deep core that we want to get activated to elongate through the low back. We can start to do that practice as we're standing, or, better yet, if we are sitting, we can start to, check in every couple minutes or so. Hey, am I just slouching forward, or am I lightly pulling my belly button in and feeling my ribs lift up and elongate so that I got my hips tilted forward, right? I got my pelvis forward. I'm sitting on my sit bones and my front of my body and the sides of my flanks are nice and decompressed because I have that light core activation going on through there. There's lots of little things that we can do, right? And really what it comes down to is taking the awareness. Here you can write this down if you're taking notes. It's taking the awareness that we are facilitating on the table and turning that into mindfulness in our life. Taking the awareness that we are developing through this type of chiropractic care, where we're experiencing our body, where we're experiencing new sensory inputs and opening up that range of our sensory response and our sensory experience inside of our nervous system, right? So on the table, we're feeling it so that we can heal it, and then off of the table, we're being mindful of keeping that area open, keeping that spaciousness, keeping that flexibility that we're generating on the table. So I hope that helps. There are no shortcuts. As much as I would love to say, hey, come in for an adjustment once a week for the rest of your life and you'll never have to worry about, listening to your body and following its cue ever again in your life. It's not how it works, right? As you develop more sensory awareness of your body, you're going to have an increased capacity for mindfulness, and you're kind of the wild card in this equation. You can choose to run with it and start facilitating more mindful decisions, more conscious decisions with how we're holding ourselves, how we're breathing, what decisions we're making, or not, and everybody's on their own journey. We don't have to do it all at once. We don't have to become Buddhas overnight. But we can take one step after another to just kind of start stacking these mindfulness and these healthy habits on top of themselves, so that we are not only receiving the proactive self-love in the form of the adjustment, but we're following up with that mindfulness form of self-love as well.